smelling right, luscious lips, dancing as you walk away.
Hey, what's going on? It's Big D from the Big D Show. This is the Divorce News Daily segment of the show. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. I hope everybody's energy is positive. It's a nice Friday. Sun is shining. Ain't like yesterday where you heard the thunder and the lightning in the video from yesterday. So we happy, we here, we doing our thing. So we gonna get in here and we're gonna talk about some things, figure out if we can get some insight into these situations that's going on, and figure out if you guys got some feelings about it or any thoughts about it too. So let's jump right in here. We're in the Divorce Men Reddit from Tall Selection 2158. Says he's considering biting the bullet. Why does he want to do that? Let's find out. I have 3 kids, all toddlers. My wife doesn't clean or cook. If she cooks, it's some processed garbage that's basically microwavable. She feeds my kids, SHIT, and in terms of cleaning, she doesn't. As a matter of fact, she leaves things everywhere. If she takes something out of the fridge, she leaves it there. And if she takes clothes off, she'll throw them on the floor. Obviously, my children are acquiring these traits. She's a loudmouth, meaning she's constantly yelling. By the way, the sex is rare. We both have full-time jobs, so usually she's complaining about how she's tired or doesn't feel well, which applies to everything. I do my best to keep the house in order, but I can't live like this. I'm pretty much organized and disciplined person, and this is negatively affecting me as well. The only reason I'm still here is for the kids. What do you guys think? All right, so what y'all think? This is a real problem that just happens all the time for a lot of guys, right? You marry a girl, she might be beautiful and everything, you've kind of committed to her, you've made that commitment, and you find out that she don't want to cook and clean, she don't want to take care of home. Now, it doesn't say whether or not she has a job, but I almost doubt that she does, and if she does, it's probably not a career, it's probably not something that she will take serious, right? She doesn't exhibit the work ethic at home like she would exhibit at her job. Typically people with a decent job or a decent career exhibit different types of traits. They're not typically super unorganized. They tend to have some type of work ethic where they realize work has to get done. And even if they procrastinate a little bit, have that procrastination, they still at some point go, oh, I got to get this done. And then they probably rush and take care of everything. That's a little bit different than never doing it. So it looks like she's not even invested in the kids. He's saying like she's feeding them microwave, food that's probably not good for nutrition for kids that are growing. He said they toddlers, so they young. And so she's not really taking care of the home, right? And when you get married, you expecting like that your woman's gonna take care of home, right? You can help her, obviously. We're capable too as men to do those things. But our expectation is that we're gonna have a home. There's a difference between a house and a home, right? A home is where it feels like we're comfortable, we're happy, and we feel like things are in order. But it doesn't seem like she's kind of leaning towards that direction at all for him. And so now he's fed up, right? Just little things. I mean, it could be tough. Like, little things will bother you if you're an organized person, if you're a disciplined person. These things are going to bother you because they don't bother to take care of business as they should. Let me turn his notifications down. That's my guy G hit me up right there. So he just flew back from Rio back to the States a couple days ago. So he's hit me up. So that's good. But yeah, somebody who's disciplined, somebody who's organized, it's going to be hard living with somebody who's not, because they're going to leave stuff in places. They're going to do things that just will get on your nerves. And he sounds like he's the kind of person that's really disciplined and organized. And so she's not going to work, pulling stuff out the fridge and then just leaving it on the counter or something, or, taking your clothes off, throwing them on the floor. We all have our kind of quirks and the things that we do that might annoy another person, but it's up to the two to kind of have a conversation and talk about it. I think he needs to talk to her about it, but I think the problem is her reaction. You can tell because he's saying she's a loudmouth. meaning she's constantly yelling. What is she yell? She's yelling because of the disorganization in her own life, and she's not happy, obviously, with her own life. She doesn't probably have goals or objectives that she's trying to hit, and she's not, because those things will require you to organize to hit those things, right? So I feel like, maybe you know, she's just feeling a little crazy, right? She's feeling a little crazy in her own life because her life is disorganized, and now she doesn't feel like she could do anything, so she does nothing. I don't know. He could fix this one. He's saying the sex is rare. He's not even having any sex with her. So they're not intimate with each other. But he says they both have full-time jobs. So she says she's tired. She doesn't feel well, and that applies to everything. So I had to take back the words that I said. She has a full-time job, but for whatever reason, that whatever she's doing at her job is not translating over to her home. I think when she gets home, maybe she's decompressing. She don't want to do anything. Maybe her job is stressful. Maybe she deals with people all day or whatever, or she's cleaning up after people. Maybe she's a nurse or something. She's cleaning up after people and things like that all day, and then it's just hard to kind of get in that flow when she gets home. But she's got to help him. She's got to find a way to help him. He's working too, so it shouldn't all fall on him to do it. Just same way like with a woman, if she's taking care of home, it shouldn't fall all on her to do it. The two of you got a home together. You got to take care of it, right? So I hope she can get it together. He said that he's still here for the kids, but it sounds like he's about to be out. I don't blame him if he does. But, you got to think about the effects on the children and how that's going to affect them, right? Because that's going to be the main thing that you want to deal with, because you can't take them away from their mother. So somebody actually commented on it saying they totally agree with counseling for her individually and then couples counseling. And then they asked, was she doing this before the kids? Because maybe that's a thing too. Maybe the kids are overwhelming for her. So you got 3 kids and all of them toddlers, so they're not going to be the cleanest either. It's hard to keep up. I got 2 cats at my house, not by choice. I love them to death now, but my girlfriend brought them over one day and they just end up staying. So, it's like now it's like I have 2 kids and I got to clean up after them and everything. And it's like going and cleaning stuff up, and then you turn around and it's dirty again. And it's like, I just cleaned it like 5 minutes ago. You clean it up and then the other one goes and dirties it up too. And now you got to clean again. So it's like, it can be a constant thing. It can be something that's really kind of making her tired. Her job is making her tired. Maybe 3 kids are making her tired because they're a lot to handle, especially when they toddlers. So I get it. So, sometimes a person's not just lazy. Maybe there's other things. Maybe their drive is just different than ours, But as an adult, you gotta get strong and handle that. You know what I'm saying? This is your home, so you don't want to be embarrassed when people come over, or just living with clutter. You don't want to live with clutter, because if your living arrangement is cluttered, then your mind is probably going to be cluttered. So, hopefully they can get some help with that, right? So let's look here. Let's see. We got Lurking, okay, in the Divorced Men Reddit, saying married couple headed for separation. Can I demand her boyfriend isn't allowed in our house? All right, this is gonna be something wild. What you mean? All right, do I have any authority to demand / prevent that? Ours is a strange situation. We were swingers, and she fell in love with a third. It's not contentious, and you got yet in parentheses. We have 3 kids, and I don't want them seeing strangers in the house. We're going to do the take turns sleeping at the house thing, but I turned around and came back when I learned he was there right after the kids went to bed. She was all pissy because I agreed to sleep at my parents' place that night, and other times we planned. The house is in both of our names, but I pay the mortgage as the breadwinner. She works but can't afford an apartment on her own. I have a call into a good divorce attorney to ask for some advice, but figured I'd throw it out here. Edit, we live in New Hampshire, if that matters. I don't know how New Hampshire's divorce laws work or how that works just yet. That's something that he'll have to look up and talk to his lawyer about. But just on the surface, sometimes we create our own problems. Hey, thanks for checking out the Big D Show. I am the Big D, but I also go by Knock Real Beats as I am a man of many talents. I'm a hip hop artist, writer, producer. I do it all. So check out the link below in the description and check out some of the music. I think you're going to like it. I'm on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Amazon Music, Tidal, everywhere you want to be. Bandcamp. Support independent artists. Listen, man, if you invite other people into your relationship, don't be surprised when one of them gets sticky and stays around. You're saying like we were swingers. So obviously you're bringing other people into your relationship or your union, right? The two of y'all, and now you're throwing other people into the mix, and you're throwing other dudes into the mix. So which is a little bit wild, because you're opening the door for her to have feelings for somebody else. Remember, for men, sex can be like just a physical thing for us. We can do that without feeling, but a lot of times for a woman, I haven't met too many women that don't get attached when there's some level of physical activity like this. So you're opening up the door for that to happen. What happens? She falls in love with the dude. She's all in love with him or whatever. No telling what he's telling her or whatever. And, you already opened up that door. Sad part about it is you got 3 kids, and now you've kind of put this, this other person into your life when you have 3 kids in your home or whatever. And now you're at a point where you can't figure out how to get this man out of your house or from being from around your kids. Even if he's coming after they, go to bed or whatever, there's a strong chance that one of them kids is going to wake up or something looking for water. They might not feel good, or they got a headache or toothache or tummy ache or something, and they're going to come in that bedroom or whatever, and they're going to find him and her. Or he'll be coming out the bathroom or something, and then one of the kids bump into him and be like, oh, who the hell are you? Type thing. So you kind of put yourself in that situation by opening those doors. So I would say, like, if you're going to live that type of lifestyle, it's probably better not to have kids, right? And you also got to go in with the idea that, what can happen that goes bad, right? Something could go bad, and it may not work out, and you might be serving your partner up to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say you didn't play a part in this. So they're talking about taking turns sleeping at the house and all that kind of stuff or whatever. Now you got all this drama and all this other extra stuff that's got to go on in your life. And now your kids got to see, oh, I got one parent here tonight. I got one parent here the next night. A different one the next night or whatever like that. And then you might happen to have some other dude just pop up. This is crazy. So yeah, she's mad because you're not abiding by the agreement, because now you're jealous and you're not happy about the situation with the kids, and you're popping up when you shouldn't be popping up. You're not adhering to the agreement. So there's a lot of things that you're probably going to need to do better. Since you're already in the situation, you need to abide by the agreement that you set. And yeah, you're paying the mortgage and all that stuff on the house or whatever, but you should have thought about that when you started this situation. And considering the fact that she can't afford to even get an apartment on her own, you're going to be paying that mortgage, and you're going to be paying for her apartment. So, and giving her money for the kids too. You got 3 kids, whatever. So, the kid's going to end up with her. They probably going to give her custody or whatever. And so now you're going to be paying, for the kids too. So you just put yourself in a huge financial bind and a potential financial disaster by being freaky. I think you should try to work it out with her, because this one's going to cost you. All right, so let's go see what else is next here. Let's see here. 35 years old, right? Gourmet Tube Sock says, is 35 too old to start over? Feeling like I'll be alone forever. I'll spare you all the details of my divorce, but basically I got cheated on a few months ago, and when I tried to propose working through it, my wife said she didn't want to work on things anymore. It was a complete shock, and now we're in the midst of selling the house and going our separate ways. I'm just feeling so sad about the fact that I have to start over. I'm 35, and there's a dumb voice in my head telling me I'm too old to find someone again. I know that's probably just my dumb voice, but I'm wondering if anyone here has any stories of reassurance. I know we can start over at any age, but my thoughts are really getting the best of me right now. Listen, man, 35 is still a child, man. You got a lot of time ahead of you. I'm not saying that you live your life like tomorrow is promised, but as long as everything goes right and everything goes smooth, you got a lot of years ahead of you. You can live every day that you've lived so far again. If you hit 70 years old or whatever by, 70, 75 years old, think about it. You're not even halfway through life. So yeah, you got time to do this, and you're a guy, so if you got your career together, you try to take care of yourself, your health wise and all that kind of stuff. You got a long way to go, man, and your value is not dropping at all because you have the ability to earn money, you have the ability to provide, and so there's always going to be somebody who's looking for that for sure. So you're not in a position where you should feel like, wow, like I'm not gonna be able to find nobody. I'm over the hill. I'm too old. If you think that and you move like that, then that's how it's gonna be for you. So you got to change your mindset. You're not too old. There's so much life that you can live. I was divorced at 38. Took me into I think we separated when I was 38 or whatever, and then went into 39 or whatever by the time we got the divorce or whatever. I just decided, hey, I can write my life, the book of my life, the way that I want. The rest of my life or whatever, all those pages are blank. I could write and do whatever I want with my life. And so I'm going to go do some stuff that I've been wanting to do and figure out a way to do it. And now I live in Rio. I've lived in Rio for 6 years. Been out here. I've dated. I've had fun. I've gone to parties and street parties and carnival and just living a life that I never thought I would live. And I probably wouldn't live if I was still married to her. So I've got my studio here, which was a dream for me or whatever. The next thing for me is really taking care of real estate, some apartments and things like that, or maybe houses or whatever. That's the next thing that I really want to tackle. So, just building my financial portfolio, all that kind of stuff, my crypto and all that kind of stuff, and dating and everything. It's been good, man. So don't feel like you over the hill at 35, man. I'm 53. I'm the opposite. You 35, I'm 53. And I'm still feeling like, it's so much for me to do. I dropped a rap album at 53, and I called it 53. So if you ain't listened to it, go listen to it. If you're into hip hop or whatever, go listen to the album or whatever. It's dope. It's not like the young kid stuff or whatever like that, but it's something more accessible for our age. But it's nothing you can't do at whatever age you are at. Some of the best things that have happened in people's lives have happened after they 50 years old. So do your thing. Do your thing. Don't worry about it. You 35, you still young. You're still young and vibrant. Get yourself together financially, body-wise, health-wise, all that stuff, and you're going to be all right. All right, so I feel like we should cover one more of these joints today. Wrong phase, 1335. What's this one got to say? Caught my wife messaging another man saying they should have gotten married. So some of us have kind of fallen into that. I feel like my ex-wife, she really was interested in one of my best friends. And we all kind of met around the same time, but he had a girlfriend at that time or whatever. He wasn't interested in her because he already had a girlfriend. So, we had all been out together and stuff like that. But, at one point she intimated to me that she wasn't interested in me. She was interested in him. It's like, okay, cool. But then you realize that that person wasn't available. So this happens, right? They marry the person that they settle for, not marry the person that they really want, because that person may not want them or may not be available. But let's see what this person has to say. I caught my wife messaging a man she used to work with 2 years ago saying they should have gotten married. She said it was just a drunken chat and a joke. I'm not threatened by the guy or worried about him, but do feel really disrespected. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. She has a habit of messaging men in quite inappropriate ways, then gaslighting me and saying I'm being controlling or insecure if it bothers me. My male friends have told me I should leave her. Is this overly dramatic? I don't know how many more red flags you need. I'm not saying get divorced because I don't know what your financial situation is. I don't know how that's going to affect you. I don't know if y'all got kids together or things like that or whatever. But all I'm going to say is that when you can't have love if you don't have respect. And she doesn't have enough respect for you not to even just be texting another dude and messaging him, let alone what she's saying in the messages. So, she's got to be able to keep that at a certain place, right? Hey, how you doing? If you got friends or whatever, okay, cool, like whatever. But going beyond that and having relationship conversations and talking about I should have married you and all of that, she's being highly, super disrespectful. It ain't no other way around it. She does not respect you. She does not want you in her life to take care of her. She wants to be in these streets. So I would say let her go be for the streets. Let her get out there and find out what it's like when you don't have somebody who cares for you. This is not gonna go down. As all, I'm not gonna pull no punches on this. I'm not having that. No, you're not gonna disrespect me in my face and in my space. This is not gonna happen. So yeah, you should feel really disrespected, especially since you're saying this is not the first time this has happened. She's constantly doing this stuff. You got to check on your boys too, because she's probably hitting on your boys and stuff like that, maybe behind your back. You never know what's going on. If she's that disrespectful, then she ain't never going to respect you. And so it's probably better just to go ahead and cut ties with it. Sometimes the big D is necessary, right? So we going to get out of here. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Like and subscribe to the channel. The Big D, I'm out. Peace. Hey, don't forget to check out my channel, Brazil Living, here on YouTube. This channel is designed for individuals who want to maybe move to Brazil as an expat or maybe stay long term. I want to be able to show you the lifestyle, things to avoid, things to get into, and how to have fun when you're here in Brazil. I also wrote a book. It's called The Brazil Experience. That is available on Amazon. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description below so that you have access to it. But you're going to need great information if you come this way. And so being here 6 years, I have a lot of that information that's going to be able to help you. I also do consultations that can help you as well. So thanks again. Have a great one. Peace.
Skin popping, smelling right, luscious lips, dancing as you walk.